Yep, it's fine. If you're pooping and you pee, fine. If you're peeing and poop, you may have a little bit of weakness that you might want to work on. But if you're pooping and peeing, fine. Pelvic organ prolapse is when your muscles aren't as supportive and your organs start to kind of push into the vaginal walls. It feels like something's falling out, like there's a bulge in your vagina, like you can't empty your bladder or your poop well. You may have leakage or just heaviness in the area. I recommend eating prunes or magnesium gummies at nighttime. The reason is because they can kind of work overnight and then you can have a great poop in the morning. Sometimes if you take them during the day, you might get the urge in the middle of the day, which isn't as convenient. Also, you can start with one. If no action, bump up to 2 or 3, and this may change depending on what you eat or if you're traveling, but start with one and then see what happens. Not necessarily. Research shows that it's typically during the first vaginal birth that prolapse is more severe. I would recommend working with a pelvic floor therapist, and I'm going to link to a reel here that shows some tips for pushing with childbirth. Also consider a water birth. So many questions about leakage, prolapse. I have a whole pelvic floor strengthening program designed for postpartum moms for exactly this issue. If you are weeks, months, years postpartum, you can start it. I'm going to link it here and you can try it free for 7 days. If you are 3 months postpartum and still experiencing pain after a C-section or a vaginal birth, check in with a pelvic floor therapist. Research shows if you're experiencing discomfort at 3 months, you're still likely to have it at a year, and everybody should see a PT after birth. I recommend checking in with a pelvic PT between 4 to 6 weeks postpartum, depending on how your healing is going. I do love for people to see a pelvic PT before giving birth, just for some tips for labor, childbirth, and postpartum recovery, but afterwards, 4 to 6. Y'all are the best. I'm actually doing okay. I'm loving summertime with my boys. My heart was broken and sad after some of the mass shootings, still is, but I do think that there is love and goodness in the world and just trying to focus on that. Try my pelvic floor strengthening program. It's the postpartum series. It starts from the basics of doing pelvic floor contractions and then works into high impact and running exercises. Also, if you're running now and leaking and want to keep running, try wearing a tampon to support your bladder. Okay, running to shower, get my hair cut, and then go to my clinic. So I'll jump back on here later.